Dear friends, new in theaters is the movie Divergent, based on the book of the same title. If you've read the book, you would know that it's based in Chicago, a post-apocalyptic Chicago, which of course, being from Chicago, appeals to me. In this post-apocalyptic scenario, the city has 5 factions, based on 5 different, you might say, aptitudes. Abnegation, which is for the selfless. Erudite, which is for the knowledgeable. Dauntless for the brave, candor for the bluntly honest, and amity for the peaceful. These 5 factions, you might say, divide up the city to allow it to function in this post-apocalyptic scenario. And into this scenario is injected the protagonist, Beatrice, a 16-year-old girl who must now choose her faction based on her aptitude. However, we find out that she has more than one aptitude, making her divergent. Of course, this makes her dangerous to many, but in the end, the one who can save the day. Now, this is of great interest to me for 2 reasons. The first of which is because it strikes me a bit as a pale imitation of something the Catholic Church has taught for millennia regarding the virtues. A virtue is not just an aptitude, but a good habit, a disposition towards doing that which is right and good. You might say that virtue is the practice of doing something the right way over and over again so that it becomes second nature. There are 2 basic kinds of virtues, the human virtues and the theological virtues. Now, the human virtues are not limited only to Catholicism. It's of special interest to us because Jesus himself was human. He was God and man. There are many human virtues, but they center on the 4 cardinal virtues. You might say the 4 hinge virtues of justice, temperance, fortitude, and prudence. And the idea being is that a person should have all of them. Really a holistic view that a person should have all the virtues working together. That in the end it's not divergent but convergent. Add to this then the specific theological virtues of faith, hope, and love. One is then able to truly live in Christ day by day. This is of great interest to me also not only because it's part of our Catholic faith, but also because I'm the rector of the college seminary, and we focus at this level on forming seminarians in all virtues with a special emphasis on the human virtues. And I want my seminarians to be convergent, to have all the virtues working together in harmony, that they may, you might say, save the day, or at least save the world in Christ, that they might lead all people to everlasting life in Christ. But that requires not one virtue, but all the virtues working together. That this convergence between things like prudence and fortitude, justice and temperance, and all the other virtues, then, capped by faith, hope, and love, will lead them to be good priests. In the end, we believe that grace builds on nature, that the theological virtues, I'd say build on the human virtues and even perfect them, that there's a convergence of all these things in Christ to make them great priests, great men. To that end, I would say that we might not be in a post-apocalyptic Chicago, but given the craziness of the world we live in today, with everything happening in the Ukraine, in the Middle East, in our own cities, maybe something is around the corner, and if so, our future priests will be ready, for they will be convergent.